Within the practice of passive emptying is the ongoing need for what I'm calling active emptying. Jesus' historical coming in Palestine 2,000 years ago was a sort of a beachhead to his invasion of our entire inner world. It's our inner country where Jesus is primarily being born today. You remember he said, when you look for the kingdom of God, don't say, oh, it's over there or it's over there. No, he said, the kingdom of God is within you. But in a world like ours, with its kind of paralyzing and toxic messages and its unnatural social and even religious requirements, there's always 1,000 things that can kind of squeeze Jesus' liberating life inside. But remember, as we said in the first video, that emptying precedes birth. Emptying precedes new life. And once again, we're called to the spiritual discipline of kenosis, of releasing, of holding things loosely, of letting things go. That is, letting go of things that are toxic and are deflating so that we have space inside for the new thing that's trying to be born. So in active emptying, what are we releasing? Well, as with Jesus, we are releasing our right to cling to the way we've always lived in the past. We're releasing our right to cling to the way we've always done things in the past. The 1960s activist Daniel Berrigan drew a great word picture for Jesus' idea of we lose our life in order to find our life. And Berrigan said, before you consider getting serious about Jesus, think about how you're going to look on wood. Think about how you're going to look on wood. What he's saying is, if we're serious about our journey here, everything is on the table. Let me just share with you a few addictions, compulsions, and my own sort of strategies, unconscious strategies for getting through life that I've noticed a need to release in order to make space for the new thing to be born. Cynicism and hiding, self-shaming and self-discrediting, fixed assumptions, timetables and demands, a spirit of remoteness, detachment and cool, an addiction to fear, sin and wounded ego, a need to perform, pretend or create drama, an insistence upon control, certainty and preferred answers, a demand for total clarity and assured outcomes, and maybe just one or two things more. Now, it's natural to find in us postures like these, and there's no shame in finding them there. But if we ally ourselves with them, if we make space for them, if we intentionally protect them and stroke them and nurse them, we're doomed to live what someone has called a hamster wheel existence, where you spin and spin and spin endlessly, it seems, in your own compulsions and addictions and your own lostness. But if you can find courage to release these over and over and over again into Jesus' care, what you find, what you're surprised to find and delighted to find, is that emptying precedes birth. And the birth of something we've been looking for since we were children, our real selves, our authentic selves, our authentic personality, our real insights, our real place and our real call in this world. And along with them, a genuine sense of hopefulness and interest and curiosity in our future. And if I can I just offer a side note here? As somebody who is eager for his new life to be born, and who at the same time is very aware of desires within myself that cut in an opposite direction, and in my own faults and my own failures, a powerful untruth that needs my own daily kenosis, that is, my own daily release, or even hourly release, is the tragedy of shaming myself, of degrading myself or discrediting myself. In some of us, this can even reach the level of self-hatred. But, a compulsion to stir around in our failures and in our weaknesses and the sometimes emotional or even verbal flogging of ourselves that results from this just strengthens a sense of being separated from God. And when we feel separated from God, our addictions are actually strengthened. We actually need our addictions more and our compulsions. So the idea that I'm separated from God in some way, even in my failures and in my weaknesses, is an illusion. It's an illusion, and one that Jesus weeps over. Remember when toward the end of his earthly life, Jesus paused on a hilltop overlooking Jerusalem, and he lamented, "How often have I longed to gather you, as a hen gathers her chicks under her wings, and you were not willing." And so we don't release our addictions and compulsions in order to get God to like us, right? No, we release them in order to clear away the debris that reveals something surprising, and that God has been intimately with us all along. And even while we've been clinging for safety to our addictions, God's been holding us in compassion. So we don't practice kenosis in order to become vacant inside, in order to become vacant of sin, or even to become especially neat and tidy inside. But we release it so that our deepest truths can come into view. I'm safe. I'm celebrated. I'm treasured. All is well in Jesus Christ, and always has been well, and always will be well. In biblical pictures, I'm a cherished bride to his groom. I'm a beloved branch to his vine. I'm a celebrated member of a body celebrated by my head. I'm a temple. I'm a house of God. And can I offer one more picture connected with all this in case it's helpful to anybody? Do you know what a doula is? A doula is a loving companion who accompanies a mom during the birth process. A doula is not a medical professional. Usually it's a mom or a sister or a friend. In dire emergency, maybe even sometimes a husband. But the doula's job is to just surround the mom with loving encouragement during the birth process. And statistics show that when a doula is present during the birth process, births happen more quickly and with fewer medical interventions necessary. So why do I bring up this idea of doulas in a video like this? Well, it's because as you and I walk through life, we are continually in labor for something new to be born. We're continually in labor to leave yesterday behind so that we can move well into our future and into our more whole, healed, and real life. Now, some of us are fortunate to have friends who are doula-like for us in our journey. But even those of us who do have such friends, those friends can't be with us 24/7. So for a long time, I've been urging that we become our own doulas. That is, we become our own loving companion. We become our own best friend who surrounds ourselves with loving encouragement for this journey that we're on. I would say in the last 25 years of my life, I have practiced no more transforming spiritual discipline than to become my own doula. This life is difficult enough, and our labor is painful enough without compounding it by treating ourselves badly. Can you imagine the doula saying to the mom who's in labor, "Why are you screaming so loud?" Or "Why are you letting this labor take so long?" When I find that I am directing those kinds of comments to myself in my own labor, I do my best to release them and to replace them with just encouraging, warm, loving support. And it's just like it has a kind of a greenhouse effect in how I'm able to live and flourish in my life and in my life with God. So the idea of the doula. Now finally, the doula doesn't want the mom to stay in labor forever, right? The doula is encouraging the mom forward, but as long as the mom's in labor, the doula is super supportive and super encouraging.